had to say that
owe
one.
anyone nothing.
Unfortunately, I've only just unmuted the stream. Unfortunately, that one wasn't on stream, so for the record, I didn't say that.
Thank God.
That was very funny though. And I tell you what, I haven't actually done the... Right, hang on a sec. I'm going to have to put the microphone between my legs again.
What are you doing? Is the stream going?
The stream's going, the stream's live, but we're just going to have a bit of a casual conversation before Dark Inferno starts to lobby up. You seem to be very busy. Working hard, I guess.
Me?
I can hear you bashing the keyboard in the background.
Oh, yeah. Working harder, hardly working, am I right?
I haven't heard that in a while. That is a very Adam Sandler. I could just picture his
Yeah,
face.
I've always said it from The Simpsons. It's a Simpsons bit. I grew up watching that.
Extremely low down. Same setup one, but those ones.
How audible is the typing? Is it? Should I worry about that? Because I will be typing.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not gonna lie.
Oh.
I feel like you might have to mute your microphone.
No, there's no quick way for me to do that.
Dude, you might.
Dude, mate, bruv,
dude, you might have to move your laptop a little bit further back.
I could just try to type softer.
Okay, go ahead. Give us an example.
Okay, yeah, here, I'll do some test type now.
I mean, I can still hear that in my ear. It's very.
You can still hear that?
I can still hear that in my ear. But we'll check if we can hear it on stream, because it doesn't matter about my ear. It matters about.
No, I'm pretty sure if you can hear it, then they can hear it on stream. How annoying. No, I'm pretty sure if you can hear it.
I just realised that I'm literally saying like matter every single time rather than matter. I think that we've done so many commentaries that I'm literally turning American.
Wait, what's the difference? Well, show it to me after you try to listen. Now
Right.
this is looping back to sick boy.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Yeah. Right, hold on. Right. Oh no, you can hear that so loud on the stream.
No, you can't.
You can. It's like louder than me.
No.
Seriously, it's like louder than me.
No, it's not.
It is. It's like I'm not lying. Like it's audible, as in it's.
I'm putting in my AirPods and pulling the stream up and listening. There's no way.
He's flexing the AirPods here, boys. Anyway, I need to finish the Sick Boy Super strategy. I haven't even written it up yet, so. I think it's a bit late. I think it is time for the start. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. It's a Thursday night, it's 8 PM here in the UK. It's a very bright evening in the UK actually. I think last time I did a commentary it was dark outside. And it's VFL, I can't believe it. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, me and PJ in the box for the first time in, it's gotta be 3 months maybe, 4 months. Cool. And it's finally happening. Me and PJ are sharing a commentary box once again. And when I checked the calendar, literally maybe about 10 minutes ago, I was like, I might as well commentate for VFL tonight. What race is it? And I saw that it was the Jeddah Corniche. I was so happy. This is honestly one of my favourite tracks in the entire game. I was just so happy to be able to commentate such an incredible circuit, and I know that this is going to be a mad one tonight, because I don't think I have seen a single race around this circuit in an F1 online league that hasn't been absolutely bonkers. You're talking DNFs, you're talking overtakes in the worst possible positions, and I'm incredibly excited. This is going to be, I can promise you, this is going to be one of the best races this season, so hold on to your butts, as they say.
I would agree. I do think this is one of the coolest tracks in the video game F1.
In the video game. I think the 2021 race was quite exciting. I think that the 2022 race may be a little bit on the calmer side. I'm not too sure how to put it, but in the video game, when people, you know, don't risk their lives by diving up the inside, it's really something special. So, man, am I looking forward to it. Already had 2 minutes of qualifying over, and I'm just going to be loading up all of the map and everything, because I am the cameraman today. I'm the person doing the stream. You'll see my POV today, ladies and gentlemen, because PJ is extremely busy, and I don't really know how to put it. Am I allowed to say what you're doing on stream, unless you might get told off?
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough. PJ's been an absolute legend right now, literally working on shift during the stream. I know that whenever I say that with my brother, he always loses it. He's like, well, I've just said it now, so he'll probably lose it again.
Said what?
Because I remember my brother literally used to race and work at the same time. Like, that was like another level, you know. He'd have the controller in one hand, he'd have the keyboard in the other. And I announced that once on a stream. He wasn't very happy, but even so. PJ's literally working during this commentary. It's insane, and he's incredibly quiet right now.
Insane.
I think it's pretty insane. But yeah, you are quite quiet, just because we could hear his keyboard in the background a minute ago. But do not be alarmed. PJ, whoa, that was Cody at turn 13 losing the rear end then.
I'm turning it back up a little bit.
Oh, okay, so you were a little bit loud.
I am gonna go check the stream just quick, because you're popping in my ears, but I don't care if you just pop into my ears, but I would like to know if you're popping on the stream.
Yeah,
so
that is a good point.
Go check.
Man, I thought that was resolved. I haven't had a popping microphone in a while, but we'll have to see. I might have to unplug it. I might have to leave and rejoin. I don't know. But what I was going to say is that it seems like I'm going to be taking the lead on this commentary just a little bit. PJ's going to be quite busy, so do not be alarmed if I maybe commentate a little bit too much. PJ is still going to be here giving some incredible insight. And as he checks the stream, I was just about to say, Cole was epic. It's the fastest lap time of a 1:29.2. And I was just about to say that that is almost certainly going to be beaten. And it has. It's been beaten by a new driver. I haven't actually seen him race yet. Okay, I haven't commentated for the last couple of weeks. And we've got GX Scorp setting a 1:28.6. But already, before I could even say that, it's already been beaten by EKG Cass, who I believe was Cass all the way back from the Silverstone race last season, who joined with Jensen. I've seen him race a couple of times. I think he actually raced in that Portimao race, first race of the season, sorry, that I commentated, and he sets the fastest lap time of 1:27.5.
I'm back, by the way. You're sounding lovely on stream. What do you think target quality lap is going to be for this session?
I was just about to say, I actually don't know, unfortunately. You know, normally I come prepared and I have that Sick Boy Super lap with me. But I haven't actually made one this time, so I'm just trying to think off the top of my head what a good lap time is. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we get into the 1:26s. I think there's a lot of headroom with these drivers. There are so many drivers that I've never even seen before in VFL. I want to see what they can do. You know, I know what Robert's like on a hot lap, you know, when it's his day and he can set some mega laps. I want to know what GX Scorp can do on a good lap around Jeddah. But to answer your question, honestly, I have no idea. I'm just going to pretend like I know what I'm talking about, like I always do. Hopefully I do a good job. But yeah, I have no idea what the pole lap's going to be, or at least what a quick lap looks like around Jeddah. However, we're still going to make the best of this commentary. I'm just checking who is kind of going around the lap right now. Around the final turn, we actually have Cole was epic. He's invalidated his lap time. Just trying to check a good driver to spectate. Maybe even JBX221. He's in the Aston Martin, and he's only been able to set a 129.3 so far. And his rear was extremely happy around, I think that was maybe turn 5. He actually almost lost the car. You don't want to be losing the car around that turn because you're going to be smack banging that wall and you'll probably DNF from qualifying. So very, very good car control, I must admit, from JB. I've just noticed that he's actually invalidated his lap time in Sector 1. So we'll move over to any other drivers who are either on a fastest lap or just about to start one. How about the Alpine driver, Cody JH07? I don't think I've commentated him before. I don't think I've seen him in VFL before. But it's interesting to see. Oh, yeah?
I know, I watched the last race. I know for a fact who's there. So I'm not totally sure if he's been a permanent seat all season, but this ain't his first rodeo.
Yeah, I think he might be on wheel then. I saw the way that he caught that slide, and if he is on controller, then that is very good. Control, I guess, but he's actually he's going slow on his lap anyway, so I'm not going to be following him. Marius Daniel Nines invalidated his lap. I'm just trying to find, a good driver on a flying lap. I think right now the best driver to spectate. Let's go for it. A bit of teammate bias. I'm going to be spectating Steph on an out lap. He's about halfway through the lap right now. And I've just remembered, I've got to pull up the driver's standings, everyone. See, I thought I'd mix it up then, rather than saying ladies and gentlemen again. I decided to say everyone.
That was good. That was good.
I know. I hope.
Without looking, do you know who's P1 and P2 in the driver's standings?
I don't, but I've just seen.
Oh my god.
It's the two Ferraris, it's the two boys in red.
Get it right.
Dark Inferno in P1. He's got 2 wins. You're telling me he won the race in, was it Austria? Yeah, Austria.
Yes, Robert got a pen for the turn 1, lap 1 incident, I believe.
Oh, wow. So we got Dark Inferno leading the championship by only a single point ahead of his Ferrari teammate, Robert DS. Of course, Season 2 World Champion, Robert DS. And then we've got the 2 Mercs behind in P3 and P4. We got Nice Job Mate and Tom Taylor. And they're actually matching points in joint P3. And I mean, great performance so far by all the drivers. I'm actually really surprised about that top 4, because I know that you'll probably think you can't say that about, Dark Inferno, but hear me out. Dark Inferno, right, hang on a sec. Excuse that. Okay, that was shocking interruption. Even so. What was I saying? What I'm watching right now, whoa, on stream! Did you just witness what happened with Steph there?
Yeah, he was sort of right on the back of Swiss for like most of this lap, and I'm pretty sure Swiss had already held him up, and then Steph maybe just getting super annoyed, kept driving behind him. But yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that was a block on the part of Swiss, but hopefully we're not catching him wrong. Yeah,
that was interesting. I'm not too sure if Swiss was even on a flying lap. He was like 5 seconds slower on his lap time. So as a little bit of a prediction, I do think a penalty's coming for Swiss, because that was quite unfortunate for Steph. I'd be pretty mad if I was Steph right there. It looked like a really strong lap up to that point. So I'm gonna.
Anyways, it sounded like you were about to get on to shit talking one of my drivers.
I was about to start shit talking Dark. No, I was actually saying that the top 4 drivers. I'm surprised. I'm not surprised about Robert DS being in the top 4, but I'm just so happy to see Dark Inferno stringing it together for a season. He's literally nobody really knows it, but Dark Inferno is literally one of the fastest drivers here. And it seems like every single season, and you can't even deny it, every single season it seems like at some point Dark's championship just kind of, slips from his fingers. A couple DNFs back to back, and he's all the way down in the bottom half of the standings. And I'm just so happy to see him leading the championship. And then I was going to say about the two Merc drivers as well. Only a couple seasons ago, Tom Taylor was a Tier 2 driver, and he was about middle of the pack in Tier 2. And now he's like top 4, or joint 3rd actually, of the Tier 1 standing. So Tom Taylor's improved so much. And
yeah,
nice
and
job,
he could.
mate. Oh yeah.
Tom could be even higher. I mean, that dude has gotten super fast this season. In the off season, there were when we were doing team selections, I thought Dark, Rob, a whole bunch of these guys were going up into Premier, so I was looking forward to getting 4 new drivers on Red Bull and Ferrari. And Tom Taylor was the biggest one who wanted to be on Ferrari. And he was penciled in, but then Premier Tier dissolved. Dark and Rob wanted to team up back again. They came back to Ferrari, and then I stole Mirko and Connor from you. But I definitely like that for Tom, that he sort of got, I don't know what the word is for it, but put off from his number 1 team, and I like the idea that he's sort of now keeping up with the guys that took his spot and giving him a good challenge. But yeah, you'll see him today. I'm sure he's going to be crazy fast today. He's been crazy fast every race.
Yeah, P3 at the moment, and I was just about to announce that Tristan's gone pole with a 127.4, or just shy of a 127.4, but now Distinct Jensen, out of nowhere, has ended up beating that by over a tenth of a second. Almost 2/10 of a second. That was an absolutely insane lap from Distinct Jensen. Like I said, one of the newest drivers in VFL. He joined middle of Season 3. He actually won his first race, I think, in VFL in Silverstone. Straight away, we signed him up to the VFL esports team, and unfortunately he hasn't been able to do a race with us yet, but I'm looking forward to when he's got the chance to. I mean, Distinct Jensen, what a driver, already right at the very top. But my eyes are on Robert Diaz right now. He's battling for a championship right now. He's only 1 point away from Dark Inferno in P1. And we've only got, I can't actually see how long we've got left of quali, but it must only be about 3 minutes. And he's sitting in the pit lane. Does he have a quali ban? Do you know?
No, he doesn't have a quali. No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't know. This
no
is
idea,
pretty.
yeah.
This isn't too uncommon for Rob. I feel like he often either struggles with a quali session and it ends up not mattering, or he struggles with the quali session and he gets a no.
Tom Taylor and Sky have just absolutely whacked into each other
in the pits.
Oh no, that's ridiculous. Both have just been given a 5-place grid penalty, and that isn't
nothing you
bad.
can do about it.
Yeah, that isn't too bad for Sky, but for Tom Taylor, we were just saying, he's battling for a championship. There's nothing you can do. I think one of them must be going like really, really slowly, and it's a blind entry to the pit lane, and he's whacked into the back of somebody, and yeah, Tom Taylor, 5-place grid penalty. He's going to be lining up on the 4th row of the grid alongside Steph at this rate.
Yeah, that really stinks for him.
Man, that really sucks.
Just sort of one of those types of pens that we have no ability to correct when it happens in the game.
Yeah, that really, really sucks. I'm just panning round. Oh, a bit of a commentator's curse here. I've just gone on to GX Scorp in the Haas, seeing what he was doing, and he's actually spun round the just very beginning of the second sector. And I don't think he's going to be able to make it back to the pit lane, get a new front wing, a new set of tyres on, and do a flying lap. It will be very close. I will be watching him closely, though. But Connor Kid, he's gone for a really interesting strategy. Most people leave the pits with maybe about 2.5 minutes to go. He's left with about 4 minutes to go, and, I mean, look at how much space he's got ahead of him. When the Haas in front goes into the pits, he's probably got about 2.5 miles in front of him. It's insane. So yeah, no dirty air for Connor Kid, but also no slipstream, which is, man, it's just so powerful on this track. You can pretty much slipstream the entirety of Sector 2 and Sector 3, and it's just incredibly strong.
And Robert's still in the pit. Oh, no, Robert is coming out now.
Yeah, he is. He's just going around like turn 4 or something. He's absolutely gunning it. He's got to be careful, because if he knocks his wing, that's his qualifying over. There's no way he's going to be beating that 129.5 set by JV. Man, this is a really interesting qualifying. Let's just be on board with Connor Kid. He's just started his flying lap, and he's maybe got one more opportunity for a flying lap after this if it goes a bit sketchy. But throughout Sector 1, I mean, this is almost textbook. Did you see that? It was incredible, hitting every single apex pretty much perfectly. Heading into turn 13, and nothing I can say about that. He really got sucked out wide into the wall there, and you've really got to be careful. If you just tap that wall slightly, not only does it affect your speed, but it could easily cause you damage in the race. The first of the 2 chicanes of the back straight, and he does it pretty flawlessly, and then you've got this massive straight left-right zigzaggy into the second of the 2 chicanes, and he lines that up pretty great as well. Onto the penultimate DRS straight of the lap, heading into turn 27. And at the moment, it seems like a pretty strong lap from Kid, but I can't see how fast it is relative to the other drivers, because he's not set a lap so far. But let's see, he pops the DRS right at the very end. He's just got enough time for one more lap after this. And it's a decent lap, but it's actually a little bit slower than I thought. P9 for Kid. It's a 1:28.119. And can we just appreciate how close P11 and P7 are? There's like less than 0.2 of a second between 4 or 5 drivers. Nice job, mate, in P7. That's just insane how close it is. And it's such a long track, Jeddah, as well, that you'd expect timings like that in somewhere like Austria rather than Jeddah, but...
Oh, Robert spinned it.
No! You're right, he has. And...
that'll be it for him.
That will be the end of his quali with only 40 seconds left on the clock. There's no way he can make it out, but he's still pushing. He hasn't actually invalidated his lap, even though he just went all over that curve. He somehow hasn't invalidated his lap time. So let's see if he can string it together and at least get, maybe a P15. Oh. He's just invalidated right now, ladies and gentlemen, because there's such a lack of the front wing. I think Robert the S is going to be going for a last of first right now, because that is really unfortunate for him. Sky run out of fuel. He's got a 5-place grid penalty. Don't forget, he's actually going to be starting P13. And Tom Taylor's actually going to be starting P9 alongside Swiss, which is really interesting. But it doesn't matter, because Distinct Jensen is the driver on pole today with a 1:27.2. Now that is an incredible lap time, I must give it to him. And we've got another relatively new driver. I think he just received a slipstream off of his Haas teammate there.
Wow.
Marius Daniel 9 in P2, and then Tristan. I mean, again, I always say that things are surprising, but did you
Oh, there goes Dark!
Dude, I was just about to say that I didn't expect Dark Inferno to be down in like P8, P7, and straight away...
Cass is coming! Cass pole! Hey!
Honestly, no, I've just given the hat off to Jensen. I'm going to have to take that hat back and give it to... Yeah, I know, I'm sorry, Jensen, but my hat is back, and I've given it to Cass. In the McLaren final second, he said, I just said a 1:27.2 was a good lap. That man almost did a sub 1:27. That is an absolutely incredible lap. I mean, that was on fire, surely. Cass ends up polling it. I'm pretty sure I can safely say that Cass has polled it now. I just want to check everybody else to make sure. Steph's 4 seconds down, and so is MOC. So yeah, it is a Cass pole position. Distinct Jensen in P2. Marius Daniel 9 in P3. And out of nowhere, final kind of like 10 seconds of the qualifying, Dark Inferno ends up setting a P4. And I was just about to say, Tristan all the way up into P3 is an incredible result for Tristan. But he's now down in P5, and we've got, I was about to say, we've got the 2 Mercs in P6, P7. No, remember, Nice Job Mates in P6. Tom Taylor is now all the way down in P11, sharing a grid row with GX Scorp. And Sky is now going to be all the way down in like P13.
So does he get to start on medium tires if he qualifies in P6 but starts in P11? He does, I think.
Yeah, I think he
can
might
start on mediums.
That is a really interesting question, though. I think he might be able to start on mediums, but we're just going to have to wait and see. But yeah, I actually don't know the answer to that. But yeah, I'm just going to quickly say what I was going to say for ages about the top 4. The final man that I was going to talk about in the top floor was Nice Job Mate. What I was going to say is, in Season 3, he did absolutely insane. You know, everyone was watching kind of Robert DS. Well, I guess, I hope that people were watching me as well, just saying. But nice job, mate, kind of snuck himself in, like, the top 5 or something of the championship. And I was just going to say that nice job, mate, is, you know, such kind of like a sleeper, can I say that? Kind of like a sleeper hit in VFL, is that he's not really talked about that much, but he's literally one of the fastest drivers in the league. And he's kind of proven that this season.
Another guy that was just in Tier 2 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, you're right. I remember commentating for Nice Job, mate. I've just realised, sorry, Distinct Jensen's also got a 5-place grid penalty. It's just come up. So he's actually going to be starting P7, and Nice Job, mate, P6. And Marius Daniel 9 is going to be in P2, sharing a front row grid with Cass. And Dark Inferno and Tristan are going to be on the second row. Wow, that is interesting. Let's see if anybody else has got a 5-place grid penalty, just in case. No. But yeah, so, man, this championship is really heating up to be something. We've got, like I said, I've just realised, I'm just kind of checking the stats. I really should have checked these standards before. You got Tristan in P6 with 47 points. You've actually got quite a big gap, actually, I've just noticed, between the Mercs in P3 and P4 and the 2 Ferrari drivers in the top 2 positions. And then you've got... what's interesting is actually the drivers right at the very top of the qualifying. So you got Cass and Marius Daniel 9 are actually kind of in the midfield of the championship, but that's not a bad thing. What I was just about to say is it will be interesting if they can score big this weekend. It'll be really interesting to see whether they, you know, skyrocket up the standings. You know, I think it's like 26 points for the win here in VFL. So if they can score maximum points, they can get like 28, 29 points. Well, Cass can get 29 points. He's already gotten 1 point for pole. If he can string it together and lead every single lap of this race and take it home for a victory, 29 points for him, and that will absolutely balloon him up to like the top 5 or 6 positions of the standings. So, man, I just can't wait to see something like that happen. But I'm a little bit nervous. Okay, for Dark Inferno, I'm going to mention it again. All I want is for Dark Inferno to win a World Championship. A little bit biased. Okay, we're doing a 2-player career. I want him to be safe during VFL so that he does the 2-player career with me. But I'm just saying, okay, Dark Inferno does have a tendency to DNF, and we've got, the walls are quite close here around Jeddah, as you will probably vouch, PJ. They're pretty close.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit worried for Dark Inferno. I don't know about you.
Oh, times have changed. Sick boy. You know, you haven't been back around here.
Nah, I haven't.
New Dark.
Right. It is. I hope so. I really do. I was just about to say, PJ's here in the commentary box, and I haven't asked him for the PJ race prediction.
Oh, yes.
What am I like, honestly?
Yes.
Go ahead. Winner of the race.
Winner of the race, I'm going to predict Tom Taylor from P10.
Whoa, that is a bold prediction. Because you do realise we're racing on Jeddah here, PJ. Not a track famed for overtaking. You know, if you can go from P10 to P1 around Jeddah, you are like... That's something special, you know. That's
no,
world
I think
record.
I think that's true in real life when everybody's got this track like very, very down, and there's just like a small percent of difference. In the video game, I think some people really can drive this track, and I think some people really can't. Maybe I'm underestimating the skill level of Tier 1 in general, but I think this track serves, how do you say friendly, the time trial merchants? Which
yes,
I believe,
of course.
you know, people that practice. I think this track serves people that are invested in the game and get used to it. So Tom's my pick. I think he's going to be cruising.
Oh, well, I think that PJ prediction finished at the perfect time, because the final driver, Robert Diesch, right at the very back. Let's see if he can do well today. He's just right at the very back of the grid. Of course, next year you can actually pick what angle you're at the grid spot, but anyway, we won't talk about that. As the lights are turning on, I can't really shout out the lights very well. Okay, so I'm just going to say, the race has started, ladies and gentlemen, and it's such a decent start from Nice Job Mate. In fact, he's already overtaken one driver. He's now on the inside of Dark Inferno, the outside of Dark, now into turn 2. They're going side by side, and he's let Nice Job Mate through. Nice Job Mate is in P3. We've got Cole was Epic in P5, and Tristan is actually all over the place. He's just lost the rear again, and is that Distinct Jensen round? I'm pretty sure it is. It's a three-way crash between Scorp, Cody and Distinct Jensen at the very back of the grid. We got a yellow flag but no safety car. Let's ping right up to the very top because Tristan has had an awful start. He was really rear happy throughout the first sector, and he's gone all the way down to P8 now. Let's see if he can hopefully string it together and get his momentum back. He's all over the back, of Corner Kid.
Yeah, and I think Cole and Nice Job Mate, the two best starts from there. I saw Cole get a really nice move on the inside of turn 2, I think.
Yeah, I'm just about to say JKS is going for a really ballsy move on MOC. They're actually banging wheels throughout the back straight, and it seems like he's gotten it off though. He's way ahead into the chicane. MOC kind of clipping the wall a bit there. I think we're going to have to go back onto the kind of the instant replay to see what happened between Scorp, Jensen and Cody. All three drivers were like backwards around turn 3, but I'm sure we'll see what happened in the steward's room. I'm pretty sure that is going to be reported, because that is a major collision, and I'm pretty sure that they're not going to be very happy about being backwards on turn 1, or on lap 1 even. I'm literally not able to speak today. Darsan going for a crazy move into turn 1 on MOC. He gets P14. Extremely well played for him. And we've got another Sector 1 yellow flag, and that's JB. He's the next victim. JB has just been spun around, or I think he spun himself around. He's now going side by side with Distinct Jensen, and Jensen gets the P18. And Cody is the only driver to pit out of the 3 that were spun around turn 1, so that is a severe punishment for Cody. He's now about 30 seconds behind the rest of the pack, and that gap is just increasing.
Yeah, and Kaz with the opportunity to... He's out over a second just as DRS is about to come in, so this is a big start from Kaz on a track where if he is good at this track and in P1, he may be able to take this to a cruise.
Oh, absolutely. It kind of looks like Cass is unstoppable right now, but there's actually a 1 second gap. Oh, hang on. Cole, yes, you're right.
His controller might have died or something. He drove straight into a wall.
Oh, man, that is crazy. Robert DS just lost the position to Jensen. I'm not too sure why. But yeah, Cole was epic. Man, he just drove straight into that wall. That really sucks. And no safety cars being pulled.
No
I have no idea how. No idea how he didn't DNF, but yeah, he's still in the race. He's kind of limping to the pitch right now with 0 front wing. Man, that really sucks for him, and he's going to be, just like I said about Cody, he's really going to be hoping for a safety car now. And Jeddah's a track in which you're going to be seeing a lot of them. Cass now, almost, hang on, Cole has retired in the pits. Cass is almost a second and a half ahead of Marius. I was just about to say, there's actually a huge gap between the top 3 drivers. You know, they're spaced out by almost 2 seconds apiece.
Yeah,
Nice
it'll
job,
be
mate.
Dark chasing down Nice Job Mate as the battle to watch for the time being.
Exactly. Yeah, I was just about to say, Nice Job Mate seems to be the driver with a target on his head right now. He's not going to have DRS. Dark's going to have DRS behind him, and it's almost a guaranteed overtake. Oh, hang on, Nice Job Mate's completely lost it! He just absolutely lost the rear, coming out of, I think that was one of the, and he's just clipped wheels with Tristan. He's all over the place right now. He's losing positions left and right. He hasn't actually caused any other collisions. Did you see what happened there?
Sky on the back of him.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be an easy overtake for Sky. Nice Job Mate would be a bit crazy for trying to defend that. In fact, Honekid has just made a move on Dark Inferno in turn 27.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, he's actually in P3, but it doesn't matter because Dark Inferno is now the man with DRS heading into turn 1, and he's using ERS, he's using DRS, and he's already a car ahead before the braking zone. Brilliant move, but...
Watching a little far back, Steph and Sky were going at it, and it'll be Steph who comes out of that first sector ahead.
Yeah, I'm not too sure why there's a massive gap of about 2.5 seconds between Steph in P8 and Tom Taylor in P7. Tom is right at the back of this massive train that leads all the way to Connor Kidd in, all the way to Dark, sorry, in P3. I was about to say Connor Kidd. But yeah, Dark in P3, all the way down to P7. I mean, can we just talk about what happened with Nice Job Mate? Did he literally just lose the rear, maybe a little bit too much downforce in the front and too much acceleration out of the corner? And yeah, I guess that was it. And that is heartbreaking for Nice Job Mate. He was doing such a fine job in P3, all the way down into P18. He's just...
Ooh, I want to point your attention. Oh, Steph, Sky, and JKS are all very, very close. JKS been struggling a little bit this season, but he seems to have found his track here. He is battling very well. And I would expect Steph to be under pressure from both of these drivers going into the end of this lap.
Yeah, in fact, Sky's all over the back of him, but he decides not to go for a move.
I don't think Sky wants it.
No,
yeah.
But then again, Sky is like literally neck and neck with Steph. I think he's trying to play the game.
Oh, Steph hit the inside barrier.
Yeah, but I don't think he's taken damage. I'm not too sure, but that has really hurt Steph. He's the only man without DRS, and it means both drivers...
JKS will come out on top of this trio. Oh no, they're going side by side into turn 1. Oh, and a big dive from Lemkis.
Oh, out of nowhere, I wasn't able to catch that. But yeah, Lemkis is now side by side with Steph, heading into turn 4, but oh, a little bit of a bump up the rear for Lemkis to Steph. But yeah, so Lemkis does luckily pull out of that one and doesn't decide to go side by side. Man, that was a crazy battle, like 4-way battle. We forgot to mention, Connor Kidd's now in P3. Jensen gets a 3-second time penalty, and so does Scorp. Man, this is going to be incredibly tight. We've got about 4 tenths between Sky and JKS, 4 tenths between Connor Kidd and Dark, and 4 tenths between Swiss and Tristan. In fact, let's pan over to Tom Taylor real quick. He's at the back, like I said, of this train that runs all the way from P7 to P3. And I'm pretty sure he's going to be wanting to go for moves. I mean, he's sitting there on a massive bank, a pool of 95% ERS right now. I just feel like he's seizing up the opportunity. He's going to take his time, be patient, and he's just going to go for it, the safest overtake he can. I mean,
and Tom did have to start on soft, so I think even though he started... Well, no, he actually did just
Oh, Tristan's just... Sorry, he's just hit the exit at turn 27, and that's a massive whack to his wing. I have no idea how he hasn't... Yeah, damaged his car.
Weird.
That is really weird. I've got no idea. Oh, hang on. Yellow flag set to 3, and that is JB has just been spun around. Into turn 1 there, did you see just how close Swiss, Connor Kidd and Dark Inferno were? I mean, when I say they were touching, they were literally touching. They were like front wing to rear wing, 3 a piece. It was incredible. But they've kind of spaced out a little bit throughout sector.
Well, Tom got a good run on Tristan here. He may try to go around the outside of this big banked turn. It's a fun spot to overtake if you can do it. I think. Is. No, Tom's not going to have it. That's really good defending from Tristan.
Oh, hang on.
They'll
no,
still
but on
be
the
side
exit.
by side. Oh.
Yeah. And, Tristan's just kind of led him through there because Tom Taylor had a much better exit doing the outside line of turn 13. That he really did take Tristan on the exit there. Tristan just letting him right through. You do not want to be going side by side throughout these little chicanes. But only a 2.5 second gap now between Tristan and Tom. And unfortunately Tristan gets a really bad chicane right there. I wonder if Tristan has actually got wing damage, but it's so minor that he's decided not to pit because he really missed the apex of that chicane. I'm on board right now with Swiss. He's right on the back of Dark, who is right on the back of Connor Kidd. Let's see if Dark's able to make a move on Connor for P1 into turn 1. It's not for P1, it's for P3. And he goes down the inside.
That was so close.
You're right, that was a real late break for Connor Kidd, but it's okay. He's been able to take the P3, and luckily, no drivers have been hit. I mean, look at Swish right on the back of Dark Inferno. There's about 10 feet separate the 3 drivers right now, it feels like.
Yeah, and Cass continuing to have the sick boy style of race.
Yeah.
Still just cruising off at the 2 second gap, as well as Marius Daniel for P2.
Yeah, he's kind of having a bit of a boring race, I may say, for Cass. It must be a bit boring for him, just kind of lapping. He's still got about 3/4 of the race to go.
Does it get boring, Sick Boy?
It does. I can vouch for that. It does. I hate to say that. It kind of makes me sound like, oh, I'm so far in the lead, it's boring. But I'm going to be honest, it is actually quite boring being in the lead. And also, you worry more, I think, about damage because, like, when you're right behind somebody, you can almost kind of follow their line a little bit. But when you're out in the lead on your own, you don't necessarily know if you're making a mistake, and you can easily, like, shut your brain down a bit, go into a bit of a trance, not really pay attention. Oh, whoa, hang on a minute. 4 wide?
Ooh.
What was that?
Yeah, Tom really tried to send it up the inside on Swiss, and Swiss was just not having it. Not sure if you can say the move was there, but Swiss made sure it was not. Dark's getting P3 on Connor right now going into turn 1.
Yeah, I think Connor and Dark were also side by side into turn 27 themselves. Dark ended up, yeah, like you said, taking P3 from Connor Kidd. But it's still so close between these 4 drivers, and that has just allowed Tristan to kind of catch back up again. He's only about 1.7 seconds behind Tom. Man, this is a really close battle, but Steph just losing a position to JB in P17. Did Steph get wing damage or something? Because the bottom, like, 4 drivers have all kind of pit or have spun round in some way. I don't know why Steph is all the way down there. I think he must have spun round, but we weren't able to catch it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so what I was going to say is that your brain kind of shuts off when you're in the lead and you're just lapping by yourself. You can kind of get into a bit of a trance, and when that happens and you stop concentrating, you can easily make a mistake, lose a wing, and then before you know it, you're all the way down in P20, and it really does not feel good. But anything can happen. A late safety car could easily screw up the race for Cass and Daniel.
Yeah. Connor
never
and Dark
know.
still going at it, and I think this may be the preference for Dark to give him the lead going into this last turn. If he's got enough room left from the AlphaTauri where it's not a big risk, just sort of let Connor take the lead there. Now we'll get it back into turn 1.
Absolutely.
I think that's been done both the last lap. So Dark doing a bit of strategic racing here. I'm sure Connor is trying to as well. As who's that going into the pits? Marius Daniel, who's P2.
Yeah, we got the first of the pitters. I'm just watching Tristan right now. It will be interesting to see whether he changes his wing or not. And he does change his wing, yeah. Tristan has had wing damage this whole time.
Surprised he didn't stop earlier then, honestly.
Yeah, he might just want to kind of commit to the 1 stop, and he didn't want to pit too early because then he'd have to go on hards. I'm not too sure, but really good damage limitation from Tristan to only lose a couple tenths every lap. JKS has just been overtaken by Sky for P6, and he was a little wobbly throughout Sector 1 there. It's interesting to see the first of the pitters. It'll be interesting to see whether Cass and Dark Inferno and the rest of the soft runners follow drivers like Tristan, who is all the way down in P17 now, I've just noticed, and Marius Daniel 9. I mean, that is a long pit lane to go all the way from P2 down to P13. Has Lemkis just spun around? He's completely spun around the start of Sector 2. So just on the exit of the first chicane down that back straight, and he's lost a load of time. And they're still battling, Connor Kidd and Dark.
Yeah, and Dark's heading into the pit, so it won't matter. But that time Connor did prevent him from doing the same thing he'd done the last couple laps. Again, it won't matter now. But interesting time to pit for Marius Daniel, really. And I wonder if it's just sort of aided by the fact that he had such a large gap in front and behind of him that he thought the only way he could get some sort of edge on Cass was through a bit of an undercut. So it'll be exciting to see once Cass finally does pit where he comes out in relation to the Haas.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's right now driving in clean air, so he's going to be able to get some real good lap times in on these medium tires warming up.
Oh, hang on. This could really shake things up. Lemkis has just DNF'd. Oh, he's just DNF'd in the pits. Okay, that would have been mega. If there was a safety car and Cass can pit under safety car and Daniel's stuck in P8, that would have been drama, but he's just retired in the pit lane. But what I was going to say, is that Daniel, there's no way he's settling for P2. He's definitely going for the undercut, and he's timed that pit stop perfectly. I mean, got absolutely no traffic at all, apart from Darsan, like, almost 2 seconds ahead of him. It's really going to be interesting to see what happens now, because whether or not Cass decides to pit, this undercut, the longer that Cass stays out, the more powerful Daniel's undercut is going to be. Cass does decide to pit. It's a pretty good entry into the pit lane. Let's see whether that undercut is going to be helpful. Who doesn't decide to pit is actually Tom Taylor. I think he's the only driver on the softs now to still be out. He's going for a really long stint on these softs. I'm not too sure what he's trying to hope for, though, because DRS is so powerful in this track that I would almost say that having DRS is better than having clean air.
Ooh, and Cass did get out well before Marius Daniel, and not only that, but he got out. Marius Daniel is now stuck behind Cass's teammate, so I'm not sure how much communication there is from him, but if there is, I would imagine he'd be telling Darsan right now to drive wide and keep that Haas even slower. It's a larger than 3 second deficit right now to Cass, so the undercut not successful at all, but can't blame him for trying.
Oh, absolutely. You've got to go for the risky strategy. You've got to go for the move, and it's a shame that it wasn't able to work for Daniel. I really did think that that was going to be a really good strategy for him, but yeah, Darsan kind of in the right place at the right time, I guess. He's playing the team game, and he's being a bit of a blockade for Marius. I mean, one thing I was going to mention is, by the way, can we just notice the fact that somehow Swiss has gotten between Konakid and Dark Inferno, battling for P7 now.
Yeah.
Have no idea how that's happened. Marius has gotten ahead of Darsan, but it'll be interesting to see if Darsan can now do a move on Daniel into turn 1, sorry. Hang on, JBX has just DNF'd, and this is an actual DNF, and there's a virtual safety car has just been called. The second that Tom Taylor enters the pit lane. This is like a full course safety car, in fact. That is insane. A full safety car has just been called.
Yeah, so Tom Taylor's actually coming out of the pit lane right behind the safety car.
Yeah, but he'll be able to overtake the safety car straight away. Yeah, I don't know. I know what you're about to say. I don't know whether that's actually helped or not, because rather than going full speed out on the exit of that pit lane, he's had to go like 10 miles an hour. And if anything, that has actually hurt him. But not necessarily. He's now directly behind Konakid. Remember, this is the battle for like net P3. So Tom Taylor's actually in about P5 right now, and he was about the same distance. He was about 7/10 behind Swiss beforehand. Now he's about 7/10 behind Connor. So I think in the end, he did benefit from that virtual safety car being called. But then he got absolutely screwed with that safety car just dawdling in the middle of the pit lane at the very end. But I think this is kind of going to be a race of penalties and not getting them, because I've just noticed Swiss has got a 3-second time penalty, and there's a lot of penalties have been handed out due to speeding into the pit lane. It's such an easy pit lane to kind of speed into. It baits you in with the little chicane and everything that you can just gun it and hit the apexes perfectly, because you can gain so much time, you know, like maybe even a second by getting your pit lane entry right. But I guess Tristan and JKS haven't got their pit lane entry right, because they've been slapped with 5-second time penalties on top of their 3-second time penalties. In fact, Robert DS, talking about speeding into the pit lane, Robert's just done.
Wait, Robert's and Tom is actually going into the pits?
Wow, that is
really... Oh, I like that move, and he's putting on softs.
Whoa.
Although he did just pit last lap, you know, that soft difference, and you're going to be taking it easy on your tires for the next 2 laps out here. It gives you about 10 laps to finish those on.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, so the softs normally last like 9 laps. Yeah, you're right, it'll last about 10 laps. That's a ballsy move from Tom Taylor.
It is, and yeah, makes it so that safety car really did not help him at all. And if that safety car came 1 lap earlier before he had gone into the pits, it may have been the golden ticket. But for now he will have a lot of heavy lifting to do. And I
Yeah.
mean, this is just exactly what we wanted. Right now,
Oh, man.
Kaz finally backed up into Marius Daniel. Dark has the two podium positions in front of him within sight, so we are going to get a good race for the win. For a little bit there, it seemed like the win was just going to be walked off with by the McLaren and Haas.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is going to be insane. What's interesting is you were talking about Tom Taylor really benefiting if that safety car was earlier. He would have still had to cycle onto those mediums because he can't go soft. But it's a really interesting. It's really interesting move. I mean, Steph's also on the softs. In fact, there's a lot of drivers who have just picked for fresh softs. Nice job, mate.
Yeah.
Well, remember, he was right at the very top at the start. Hang on, a bit of contact between Distinct Jensen and Steph there in the safety car.
I mean, this is going to be super exciting from Mark down to, all the way to Cody. Aside from Jensen and Scorp, all of these guys on softs are just going to be chasing after these medium runners. And it's not like there's a big gap to chase down. It's a safety car, so they will have a good chance to jump them. And honestly, I'd be nervous if I was guys like Connor Kidd to Dark who don't have a lot of medium drivers behind them, protecting them from the softs like the front runners do. So this may lead to a big shakeup in the final 10 laps with these soft runners.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Distinct Jensen is now pitting. Don't tell me he got wing damage from knocking into Steph. No, he didn't actually. He's just cycling onto those softs. It seems like that's the strategy. I'm not going to lie, CJ. So many people are boxing for the softs. And
yeah, you just get past so easily.
Yeah, and it's kind of right on the cusp as well. The tyres last maybe about 10 laps at a push, and then you're literally going to have like 10 laps left after this safety car comes in. I was just about to say Cody has literally been given a second chance right now. He is just going to catch up to that safety car in time. He's really going to be counting his lucky stars right now, and man, imagine if Cody can overtake like maybe 5-6 people and get a really good result, like P17, not P17, like P12. That would be insane. Oh, that's what happened. I accidentally pressed triangle. Huh. Anyway.
And so, of the people who are going to be chasing him down on softs, Mark actually, who I believe is just filling in, he's a reserve right now, full-time in Tier 2, so he's really got a golden opportunity on his return into Tier 1 to do something special here. He's got JKS in front of him, which, again, I think those two are somewhat evenly paced, so that may be advantage to Mark on the softs, and then he's going to start hunting down Connor Kidd and Swiss for P5, which would be an incredible finish for a fill-in driver. So I'm excited for this race to finish up.
Man, yeah, it is going to be exciting. Like you said, JKS and MOC both, I think they were both former Tier 2 drivers in Season 2, so they're incredibly closely matched on pace, and I am really looking forward to just seeing how quicker those fresh softs are compared to JKS's slightly warm mediums. But yeah, Dark Inferno, it's interesting. He's got quite a big cushion behind him. I mean, Dark, Daniel, Cass, really got a good cushion behind him. But Dark Inferno, he's not going to want to settle for P3 anymore, you know. He's been battling for P3 all race. You can't just wave that P1 right in front of his face and not expect him to try and take it. So I'm actually going to be on board with Dark right now. If he can get a good exit, if he can time Cass, if he can read it well, then he can maybe make a move on Daniel, but really, nobody was able to time it perfectly well because Cass has just pulled out like 0.4 of a second straight away. Dark Inferno actually bumps into the back of Daniel a little bit, and there's been a... Whoa!
Right where the softs are meeting with the mediums, there's a lot of contact. MOC did get by JKS, and Darzan got in there too, but it was not smooth. There was a lot of bumping going through that first turn one, as you could expect.
Yeah, Tristan's had to pit for a new wing. Cody's also spun around, I think. He's lost a lot of time. And Tom Taylor has actually lost quite a few positions, I think. He's all the way down into P14. Now, it is...
Man, and MOC already right on the back of Connor Kidd.
Man, look at the difference between the softs and the mediums. MOC is like... He's just so quick in comparison to these drivers. He's just got to be patient. He doesn't want to accidentally stick it into a corner where it really does not belong. I've just realised how terrible that sounds. But yeah, he really has to be careful, because if he gets too greedy basically and accidentally makes one bad move and takes out Connor Kidd, it's really not going to be well for him. It's not going to fare well
Robert
for him.
getting a move done on Scorp, who's also on medium, so again we see those medium runners falling, but it will sort of be this down into turn 1. Mark's going to get a much better exit than Connor Kidd. He doesn't have DRS or anything, but he does have a slipstream, and he does have enough ERS to get side by side, and now it's 3 by 3. Oh boy, going into turn 1.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Swiss for some reason has completely run out of ERS, even though we've only been on the track for like 1 or 2 laps. MOC's just got so much grip, he's actually able to go around the outside of him into turn 4, but room is left, and Connor Kidd kind of takes a bit too much room on the inside and pushes MOC off there. And yeah, like you said, Mark is now all the way down into, well, not all the way down, he's unfortunately just lost that position that he gained. He's down into P6 again. Man, that is really interesting that Swiss was kind of saving his battery there for some reason, and he stopped using his ERS, and they were able to catch up to him. Insane.
Yeah, and then the longer somebody like Connor can hold off these soft runners, specifically Mark, the guys at the top like Cass, Marius, and Dark are going to be breathing a lot easier. If there's a chance that they can go these 10 laps without having to worry about soft runners catching them, that would be a delight and give them a chance to fight for the win. And it's already 2 seconds to Cass. Once again, it doesn't take him long.
Yeah, oh man, he's just a man on a mission right now. I can't believe he's been able to pull out that gap so quickly. We've only been on the track for a couple of laps. I'm on board right now with, screw it, let's be on board with Darsan. He's almost a 10th behind MOC. He's gone for a different approach into turn 27, and that would have worked out well, but he actually was so quick he had to back out. He was about to hit into the back of MOC there. How about JKS? He's about 2/10 behind Robert DS. Nobody's going to be making a move into turn 1. In fact, that's a lie, ladies and gentlemen. Dark Inferno has just made a move on Marius Daniel 9 into turn 1, but Marius does keep P2. I guess he was able to defend pretty well. And now Dark, he's going to have DRS heading into turn 13. He's just going to sit behind Daniel throughout this first sector and hope for the best. Tom Taylor is actually battling with Tristan, and
and it's a great job by Connor to keep up with Swiss. If Connor was stranded without DRS, he would be dead meat, but as it stands, he's able to hold on to this P5 and make it real difficult for Mark, who, I mean, already the longer we go on the softs versus the mediums, that advantage for Mark will be slowly dwindling. So he really wanted to, I think, make 1 or 2 more moves than he did in these first couple laps, and now he's getting moved on by Darsan on the right side, and nothing he can do about it.
Yeah, I think your microphone's glitched out a little bit there, PJ. You've literally turned into a robot, or like, oh, hang on, nice job, mate. It's just been completely turned around. He's just been in contact with Steph, and he's going to be losing a load of time right there. That was throughout the second chicane, and Dark Inferno has actually just lost a position to Swiss. Swiss has absolutely sent it on the inside of turn 27, and Dark Inferno, who was battling Marius for P2, is now struggling to hold on to that P3. Connor Kidd has actually been able... Whoa! Connor Kidd goes for a ridiculous dive bomb into turn 1, and in fact, he just gained a position on Swiss. He broke so late, he almost lost the position to Swiss. That was an absolutely ridiculous move from Connor Kidd, I must say. And Dark Inferno, I don't know how he's done it, but he's actually clawed back, and he's kept within 1 second of Marius Daniel 9, so it's not over his battle for P2. I mean, that was ridiculous.
My voice still robot-y?
It isn't. You're back to being a human being, PJ.
Oh god, it feels good. Robert Diaz, he's been making moves, and he got past Darsan and Mark, so now he is the leader of the soft tire gang on the back end of Swiss. But man, I wish I could have seen that Connor move.
It was ridiculous. I think he broke at about like the 10-meter board. It was crazy. He actually almost DNF, like he was about an inch away from the wall. It was crazy. But yeah, it didn't kind of work out. He was about to overtake Dark Inferno. I think he was actually side by side with him into turn 1. And then maybe he tried to go for a move on Marius. Like, that is how late of a break it was. He could have made, you know, like 3 positions in 1 turn. But yeah, unfortunately, it just didn't work out for him. What's really interesting is I've just noticed Swiss was only on 1% ERS then for a second. It definitely is a battle of attrition here, because Robert DS on a massive pool of 32%. Darsan's got like 50%. You know, he's playing the long game, and it's not going to take long for him to overtake Swiss, especially if Swiss has got a blinking light on the back of his car for the rest of the race. It's really going to be easy for Robert DS to overtake him. And from the back of the grid, Robert DS is going to probably get a top 5 finish. That's an incredible result. But as you predicted, Tom Taylor being in P1 today, unfortunately, it seems like the complete opposite.
Did I say that?
You did, yeah. I said, who do you think would win the race? And you said, I'm going to say Tom Taylor. It was a very interesting call.
Yeah, pretty cool from Robert. The whole time this race started, I was expecting him to be getting up into the top 10 very quickly, and he really didn't throughout the first half of the race. But finally, the safety car has given him the door opening he needed as he slaps into the wall a little bit.
I just noticed
Not
that.
sure if there was some light damage, but if he's clean, he will be on for, race where he started P20. He's now going to be finishing in some good points. Very, very crucial comeback drive as he sits in P2 for the Drivers' Championship.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. Side by side, MOC and Darsan battling for P7, and it's a pretty easy move for MOC. I was just about to say that Whoa, hang on. Both Connor Kidd and Swiss are going for a move on Dark. Dark gets DRS, so does Swiss. The one driver who doesn't is Connor Kidd. It will be interesting to see whether he can fend off both drivers, and honestly it looks like Connor Kidd is able to, heading into turn 1. And very late braking by Swiss, and Dark Inferno had to absolutely slam on the anchors there in order to not just DNF. He literally almost got spun around, and he's lost.
Well, and it was his teammate coming up the other side as well, so he had absolutely nowhere to go.
Yeah, man, that's really unfortunate for Dark Inferno. He's just lost 3 positions, and although Swiss might get Marius Daniel Knight's he's just DNF'd. He's just spun around, he's lost his wing, he's not quite out of the race, ladies and gentlemen. I was just about to say that the dream for P2 for Dark Inferno is over. Maybe it isn't, because Marius Daniel 9, he's been in P2 for pretty much the entire race. And with only 5 laps to go, he's just lost it throughout Sector 1, smashed his wing, and he'll be lucky to even get a point at this point. Man, I cannot believe it. That is heartbreak. I mean, you really do see the highs and lows here, commentating for VFL. And that is a low for Marius Daniel 9. His name was written all over that P2. Oh, I'm literally belching. Oh, his name was written all over that P2. But it's just not to be, I guess. Oh, dear.
So, yeah, the battle left for P2 is going to be very exciting. Robert is the only one who's in that battle on soft tires. But again, it's 6 laps into that stint where he may not have a big advantage on those mediums anymore. So we'll see if he can catch up to Connor, who's without DRS. Going into turn 1, Robert chooses the inside, will move the back on him into turn 1. Connor going for a nice little switchback, but runs into the back end of Robert, and the Ferrari driver will keep his place, as that allows Swiss to get right back on the back of him. Yep.
Yeah, and also I've just realised all of that battling has just allowed Dark Inferno to catch up. He's only 7/10 behind the top, or the 3 anyway, the trio in front. And also, it's really interesting to watch the ERS, the battery capacity of each of these drivers' cars, because the rest of them are blinking down the straight. If the back of the car is blinking, that means they've got less than 10% ERS. Hang on a minute, Tom Taylor, this could be a late safety car. Tom Taylor's just DNF'd. Oh, both of them have retired in the pits.
Lane,
yeah, we just had 2 drivers retire in the pits right next to each other. Hang on, I think we have actually got a something. Oh no, it is retiring in the pit lane. Okay, we can calm down now, ladies and
It
gentlemen.
was Swiss touching the back end of Connor.
Oh man, yeah. Oh yeah, they are literally like almost side by side there. And look at Dark Inferno, he's just been able to catch right back up. Yeah, what I was saying is that the top 3, their cars are blinking red. They're really out of ERS. But look at Dark, he's on like 25%. It's going to be so easy to make a move. Talking about moves, Swiss, he goes on the inside of turn 27. He's side by side with Robert DS. Robert DS gets a far superior exit, and look at Dark Inferno. That's who I'm watching right now. He's got more ERS than the rest of them. and surely he's going to be able to make a move, but maybe not. Connor Kid gets a far superior exit than everyone, and they're 3 wide into turn 1. It's a dream, ladies and gentlemen. Swiss is the latest on the brakes, and he ends up overtaking everybody. He's now in P2. Connor Kid is side by side, but now they're 3 wide into turn 4. Robert DS is now in P3. Connor Kid in P4, and Dark Inferno, unfortunately, for some reason, he's not able to overtake any of them. But he's got 40% ERS when everybody else is sitting on about 10 to 15. So
yeah,
I think
there's just not a lot of room on the track for all these cars so close together.
No, not
at all. Some incredible racing, and most crucial, it's been delightful to watch from Darsan.
I think most crucially, Darsan, oh yeah, I was just about to say, Darsan, only 2/10. All of that battling has allowed Darsan to not only catch up to Dark Inferno, but make a move on the inside of turn 13, and that means he's going to have the outside line, and he's just hit the back of him. Dark Inferno may have wing damage because Darsan just overtook him before the chicane and broke quite early. Dark Inferno may have wing damage, and now MOC on the softs is only 4/10 from Dark. Dark, who almost had the P2 on a plate, and now he's all the way down into P6, maybe even P7 at the end of this lap. But
yeah, but I don't think those softs are going to be too friendly anymore. I think Dark, assuming he doesn't have wing damage, and we'll see in this last turn, I think Dark may still be in a good place, because remember, those 3 guys from P2 to P4 all have penalties.
Yeah, there's no way.
I know Roberts at least is in the pit lane, so that cannot get removed.
Oh, hang on, Swiss. Robert DS has made a move on Swiss. Connor Kid's overtaken Swiss. Darsan isn't able to. Dark Inferno instead has made a move on Darsan. Now they're side by side. Connor Kid is on the outside of turn 2, and it's not enough. But now Robert DS in P2. Swiss and Connor Kid are now side by side, and Connor Kid's been turned around! He's completely been spun around, I can't believe it! Connor Kid has lost his wing. Swiss did not give up the position, and Connor Kid was on the inside, and he just got hit, just very, very slightly kissed by Swiss. And now Robert DS has made a mistake on the end of Sector 1, and that means that Swiss has been able to take the lead into turn 13.
Yeah, and on pace for a Red Bull best.
Oh, Darsan's just spun around pit turn 13, he's backwards! I can't believe it. And now that means MOC's in P5, Dark Inferno's in P4 just behind Robert DS, and Swiss is once again leading this train. By the way, can we just appreciate Cass? He hasn't got no idea what's going on. He's almost 9 seconds in the lead.
He's putting in some, practice laps. And right now, Sick Boy, this stands as a podium finish for Mark. With these penalties, he is well within reach of P3.
PJ,
so
I completely forgot about the penalties.
Yes, so Dark is sitting in a firm P2 right now, and I would hope that he doesn't push this battling too much. Just keep it penalty free. You don't need to try to go side by side, even though he is out of this exit.
Yeah, let's see if he can
tell
take
what
a move.
Is going to happen down into turn 1 as
he's
Swiss
surely going to be able to
Robert will have DRS.
Yeah, he's surely going to be able to overtake Robert. In fact, both of them overtake Robert. And now Swiss is ridiculously late on the brakes.
Oh.
Dark Inferno, he plays it safe. He brakes early. He hangs on to his P3. And yeah, there's really no reason to overtake Swiss. He's got a 6-second time penalty. I think Dark would be a fool to try and go for moves on Swiss. We've seen that Swiss is a very late breaker, and he has kind of spun around Connor Kid maybe just a little bit earlier on in this race. So yeah, I think he'd be a fool to try and go for a move. Hang on, Darsan has now fully DNF'd. He's just retired in the pit lane. Man, this is
and this has been some dangerous bumping between the 2 Ferrari teammates. I gotta say, these 2 are both racing their own race here, not giving either any easy spots. But regardless, this does look to be a Cass P1, Dark P2, and Mark P3 if they can just keep it on track without any penalties. But even so, Swiss has got 6 and Robert's got 5.
Yeah, man, this is absolutely insane. I think
Scorp will even be jumping Robert at this point.
Yeah, that is an interesting point. Well, that's whether or not Robert DS's 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane remains. I mean, it probably will, but I remember getting a 5-second time penalty for, like, it was a weird glitch that happened. Dark Inferno, sorry. Just making a move
real
on.
Smooth move.
Incredible move, but it doesn't matter because he's not got DRS. Down into turn 1. He's just played his own game, remember? Just letting them through and then taking the move.
Mark is getting into it. Mark is getting into it, and he's going for a move on Dark.
He is.
Those 2 don't have penalties.
He may get P2.
Mark is
and he's
going
got
for
the superior exit. He has got
He's done
P4.
it on the last lap, Sick Boy.
I can't believe it. Dark Inferno has literally, like I said, he's played himself at his own game, pretty much every single lap this race, Dark Inferno has let them through turn 27 and then got on the DRS into turn 1. Dark Inferno now making a move on the final lap on Swiss has just cost him the P2. MOC out of nowhere is going to get a P2. I can't believe it.
Well, there's still 1 or 2 sectors left to go, so this thing is not quite over yet.
Scorp has just spun on turn 13.
Oh no. We've seen lots of guys lose it throughout the race. It doesn't mean that it is over yet. Mark is on very old soft tires. And you know what? This may even come down to a checkered line finish. You get that DRS with a good amount of straight on the final corner. And we've seen it happen in real life. An overtake across the line. And it may happen here. Watch Tart. Right. He may get a pass on MOC into this final corner.
They're about
MOC
equal on ERS.
Still does have DRS. That's massive for him.
Yeah, they're about equal on battery. And Dark Inferno, he's gone for the superior exit. And he has got the superior exit. Both drivers are going to have DRS as well, but it isn't enough. MOC
it's not there.
Does!
Oh,
MOC does get the P2. Dark Inferno P3.
Finish.
Less than a tenth of a second between them. Robert DS in P4, Swiss in P5, and they don't lose any more positions.
What the hell, Mark, man, what a race from that guy. Give him all the credit coming into his first return from T1. He beats Dark, Robert, all of these guys, gets a P2 finish. I mean, fantastic racing from him in the AlphaTauri. That was pretty cool to watch. I'm cheering for Ferrari, but that was a cool last few laps.
Man,
congrats to Cass as well for just crushing the race.
We're just saying MOC. We've kind of forgotten Cass. He needs to take more glory, honestly. He's led every single lap of that race. Not only has he led every lap, but he has just dominated. He won the race by like 12 seconds in the end. It's just absolutely insane. Robert DS gets driver of the day, because let's not forget that he started right at the very back of the grid. Man, that's insane. So Cass gets an incredibly well-deserved
I can tell
P1.
you that Robert does think his speed limit should be removed.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. So I was in PSGL and I cut the inside of the pit lane once, and the game freaked out and it gave me a 5-second time penalty and basically
did Robert finish ahead on track there?
He did. No, so
okay.
Yeah, he did actually. So Robert DS, what happened was I think Swiss won, Robert DS came P3 actually, so sorry, Swiss came P2, Robert DS P3. So Robert DS will get the P2 if his 5-second time penalty is removed. Just as a very, very brief rundown of the standings, we've got Cass in P1, dominated every lap, incredible drive. MOC out of nowhere in P2. Dark Inferno battling so hard for that P3. Robert DS from the back of the grid in P4. Swiss in P5, Jensen P6. Scorp spun right at the very end, gets P7. JKS P8, Steph P9. Nice job, mate, P10. Great recovery from nice job, mate. And then Tristan in P11, and then Conakid was in P12 because he actually lost the car right at the very end due to a scuffle between him and the AlphaTauri driver. No, and Swish. Yeah, what am I talking about? I swear. But also, just a quick shout out to Marius Daniel 9. He was in P2 of the race for pretty much the entire race.
Alright, I gotta get back to work. I don't know if you're gonna do interviews, but it was a pleasure to join you, Sick Boy. That was a really fun one to watch. Had a lot of fun.
I'm out of breath, dude, after that one. It was insane. One of the best races I've commentated in a long time. Yeah,
Alright, see you next week, pal. Good talking.
Yeah, see you later.
Peace.
Yeah, it seemed like PJ was in a little bit of a rush to leave that one. He did say that he had to work. What was interesting is he was like, oh yeah, by the way, Carl, you're going to be doing the majority of the commentary today because I have to work. So I'm like, okay, don't worry. And I think the race was so entertaining that in the end he just ended up kind of sacking off his work and just commentating with me for the majority of that. So I imagine he's a bit behind. He's kind of got to catch up with his work. Now, what I'm doing right now is I'm just asking whether anybody wants an interview. So let's see. we will message MOC. I feel like he definitely deserves one. I've also messaged Dark. And we'll keep it at 2 interviews if MOC doesn't want to make one, but I'll message him. Let's go for it, boys. Robert will get P2. Yeah, likely. But yeah, we'll go for an interview with Dark. Little bit of a bias. Invite him instead. We'll invite all 3. Let's go for it. Right, hang on a minute, gents. I'll be back in a sec. And ladies. Even though I'm not too sure if any ladies do watch the stream. Right, anyway. Let me message Rob. And let me message... I haven't actually heard from the other drivers. Oh, we've got a little bit of a boy racer going past my house at the moment there. You may have been able to catch a little trace of his exhaust there. I can smell it from here. Dark Inferno, where is he? Come on, Dark. There he is. What a man. Here he is. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Adam Kessels has just joined.
Hello.
It's great to hear his voice. Right, let me check my phone real quick because I swear that... Oh, okay, so Robert DS hasn't replied and MSC can't. Man, so, Dark, I guess you're going to be the man who we talk to. I mean, what a race. I was just saying to PJ that I was nervous when you were racing around Jeddah. I knew what was going to happen. It was going to be a Dark Inferno DNF. It was going to be a heartbreak. And honestly, the more that race happened, the more I was pretty convinced that you were not going to end up surviving that race. Battling side by side with all of those drivers at the very end. I mean, how did you do it?
I mean, it takes 2 to tango, really, so it's not just me who have to do well in order to stay on track. All drivers that I race with were just immaculate, side-by-side racing. I love that. I'm actually quite happy with my result. Normally I'll be like aiming for wins and things, but Jeddah is not a track that I'm good at all. I'm really bad here, and you know that because I always lose my wing. It's either DNF, lose my wing, or I get 1,000 time penalties, and I did neither of that, any of those things. So I'm really happy with my result. I don't think I'll get the podium because Robert, I think, is appealing his 5-second time penalty. But even so, I'll take P4.
Yeah, I mean, that is an incredible result. What's interesting is if Robert does get that P2, he takes the lead of the championship by a few points, actually. Man.
Not a big worry, it's fine.
Yeah, he's very chill. This is a brand new Dark. What's happened to the old one?
Oh, it's fine.
Oh, hang on, they've only just messaged right now. I'll interview Cass as well in a sec, but... Man, yeah, you seem to be so chill about this championship. Do you really think you got it in the bag then? Is this the season that everything goes well for Dark Inferno?
Hopefully, right so far, normally it's the pattern of do well, do bad, do well, do bad. And now it's just gone do well, do well, do well. So I'm hoping we can continue this streak. But yeah, especially there's another upcoming track that is pretty bad for me, which is Brazil, but that's the final.
Oh, wow.
So we're okay.
Yeah, you don't want to be losing it on the final. I mean, next week, Azerbaijan is...
Lovely track.
You love the track. Wow, that is...
Love the track. Very good there.
You've got a lot of walls there. I'm not too sure...
There's a lot of walls, but we're good with the walls now, as you can see.
Oh, yeah, as you can see. Right, I'm just going to quickly invite Cass to the interview very quickly.
Okay.
But man, this is... Right, hang on. We'll add him as a friend.
Yeah, Robert's definitely got that 5-second time penalty removed.
Oh, what? Have you seen his gameplay?
Yeah, he got his 5-second time penalty for speeding in pit lane, even though he's not at the pit lane yet.
Yeah, so that happened to me in PSGL. So I think I went too quick through that chicane, and I was basically halfway through the chicane, and my car like freaked out. It gave me a 5-second time penalty, and it slowed my car right down to like 40 miles an hour. And yeah, it wasn't good time. But yeah, what a result from you. I mean, was it scary? Here's my final question, actually. Was it scary facing off against all those drivers? I mean, so many crashes happened. It was like left and right. It was absolute carnage. That must have been scary.
I heard a lot of cluttering, but the battle group that I had was really great. I was scared for the pure own fact, not because I'm racing with the people, is that I'm terrible at this track, so I'm just making sure that I'm sticking on the track. At some point, Dawson overtook me. There's loads of people that were on the alternate strategy, I think went medium softs, and somehow the softs stuck with the pace for all. I was on super old mediums, and I just could not keep up with those guys ahead.
Man, it seems like an insane race. I mean, well done for even if you only get a P4, that was one of the hardest fought P4s I'd ever seen. Man, I think it's time to pass the mic over to Cass, because that was one of the most dominant performances I have seen in VFL history. Hello, how you doing? I'm just quickly gonna check to make sure that you have made it so that you can share your voice. So quickly go into your settings, because otherwise I won't be able to hear you. So if you go into voice chat settings, there is a setting that says share your voice, and if you've got that on allow, then everyone will be able to hear you. No, so I think you click on the voice chat. I'm not too sure. Oh yeah, you're on PS4. I'm actually not too sure. Okay. Okay, hopefully they're able to hear you. I'm not going to be able to check though, so we're just going to have to find out after this. I mean, yeah, so one of the most dominant performances I've ever seen in VFL. How much practice have you done?
Well, when the track came out, because it was an add-on to the game, I really just started it. For a day, I drove it for the whole day.
Yeah.
And now in TT, I have the 500th time of the world, so.
Oh wow, that's
you could say I'm pretty much a tryhard on this track.
Yeah. I mean, it sounded like it. I mean, it looked like an absolutely insane performance. I'm a massive fan of Jeddah. I was racing it like mad when it first came out as well. And I tell you what, my lap times are nowhere near yours. I mean, first of all, that pole lap was like almost a sub 127. I'm pretty sure it's quicker than my time trial lap time, and that was in qualifying.
And I think I even made a mistake, so
could have gone even faster. He could go even faster, ladies and gentlemen. What else about that was really interesting? The safety car halfway through. Did you get a little bit scared then?
Yeah, I got very scared. I was really doubting between going to the softs or staying on the mediums.
Yeah.
But as behind me, they were all on old mediums, so I thought they would pit anyway, but they didn't. So I was pretty lucky there that every soft runner had to overtake the old medium guys. So that gave me a lot of room to drive away first.
Yeah,
so
you had a
big. That was the thought.
Yeah, you had that massive cushion behind you of like maybe 4 or 5 medium runners.
Yeah, exactly.
Before, and then just out of nowhere, you ended up pulling out another like 12 seconds in the last 10 laps of the race.
Yeah. If there was no safety car, maybe it could have been 20 or even more.
Yeah, honestly, that's absolutely insane. I mean,
there's always a safety car, so.
There is always a safety car, especially around Jeddah. It's an insane track. I'm just checking the standings right now. You are in P. You're actually really well down, like P15.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the former 2 races I made so many mistakes. In Austria I had P1 in the quali, but then I just binned it like 2 or 3 times. Man. And I get so pissed at myself because of that, because I know I could have been in the top of the standings right now, but maybe the next few tracks are one of my strongest tracks. So
Yeah.
I think we'll catch up with the points.
I mean, absolutely. I think you scored like 29 points with. Did you get the fastest lap?
No, I think by like 2 tenths.
Oh man.
Yeah, they were on new sauce and I was on like 30% mediums, so
Yeah.
there was no chance. I
Yeah.
tried it, but it got really close. But yeah, after that, no chance anymore.
Yeah, so I've just kind of worked out you're on 44 points now. You're going to be easily, maybe 7th in the standings. That would be absolutely insane. Hopefully, this is a
nice.
sign of things to change, and we're just going to see Cast domination for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I hope so too.
That was insane, but I think I'm going to have to wrap that up now. I've been commentating for way too long. My voice is very sore. Time to wrap it up, I guess.
understand.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. However many people watched, I have no idea. And next week, I'm not going to be commentating for the race on Sunday, but I think somebody might. So Sunday at 8 o'clock is the Tier 2 race in Austria, I believe, because we're 1 week behind for Tier 2. And then next Thursday is round 5 of the Tier 1 Championship in Azerbaijan. So be sure not to miss that. And I'll catch you all next week. Goodbye.